Guys, it's safe to say Helldivers 2 is one of the best games I've played in a very long time. And over the last week, with the little bit of time I've put into it, it's safe to say it's so good that it's crippling my work ethic and causing my wife to spend more time getting extra lessons with her yoga instructor, while I slowly morph into the stereotypical nerd in the basement. But all that's a worthwhile sacrifice in the fight to spread democracy. How's that for an intro? But seriously, it takes a lot of balls for an indie studio to take such a massive leap, taking their formula from their previous entry and flipping it on its head, creating the fastest selling game in PlayStation's history. Not an easy feat, but it makes sense with such a fun, action-packed, addicting game, with solid gameplay and a war that makes you feel like you're a part of something, like you finally have a purpose. Also an awesome community backed by a CEO that takes pride in being a nerd himself.
I'm the regular nerd.
You're goddamn right.
Not to mention a soundtrack that hypes you up to do just about anything. And with all this in mind, I had to see what all the hype was about. I had to be a part of this awesome game that had everyone in an uproar for the last few months. Had to know if the rumors were true, or if this was all just smoke and mirrors. And to do that, I'd have to take out a second mortgage for a PS5, hit set for a combat drop, and prepare to dive to show you all what makes Helldivers 2 so amazing. One thing I love about this game is the setting and the world it creates. Sometime in the future, all of the countries of Earth have united, creating one united planet, Super Earth, which is made up of multiple ministries that govern the aspects of citizens' lives in a form of managed democracy to ensure maximum freedom of its citizens. And I gotta say here, I love the little references and Easter eggs to other science fiction in Helldivers. Airhead CEO and lead developer Johan Pilestedt openly talks about how he loves sci-fi movies, and it shows in his work. You can see the clear tribute to Starship Troopers and the world building in the Terminated faction, along with other movies like Terminator and the Automatons. And instead of this pulling you out of the world with these little references, it helps to pull you more in. In many ways, Helldivers feels like a worthy successor to Starship Troopers. But instead of being in the mobile infantry, you, my friend, are a Helldiver. And when Super Earth declared war on all tyranny, which definitely was not actually about resources. And the Galactic War is quite possibly the coolest part of Helldivers 2, featuring a war in real time. When you look at your galactic map, you'll see a galaxy full of planets, each with a defense or a liberation status, showing you how close you are to capturing or defending a planet. And because the game is in real time, you're seeing the effect you and your fellow Helldivers are having on a planet, even showing you how many players are fighting on said planet. This is the coolest thing to me, as each action you do, each mission you complete, you can see your effect on the war effort in real time. And to me, this finally feels like a successor to Galactic Conquest and Battlefront, showing that it is in fact possible to pull this feat off. EA. But in a war, you'll need a good opponent, and in Helldivers 2, you'll have two options for that. So far. On one front, we have the Terminids, or the Bugs, who are pretty straightforward. They'll use swarm tactics to try to overwhelm you, with their main advantage being strength in numbers, and on higher difficulties, having a few big armored chargers or Biotitans to throw at you to mix it up. But all in all, the Bugs will give you a fight almost like COD Zombies, kind of like a horde mode option, where most of your gameplay is going to be avoiding their claws and repelling the swarm. Then we have the Automatons. Good God, the Automatons. We're cooked. We're cooked. Oh shit.
Oh dear. Didn't do anything there? Oh no.
Oh my god. Dude, Will's getting tormented. These guys are a problem. If the bugs are COD zombies, then the bots are Halo Legendary Firefight. And buddy, we're playing Lasso. The bots are a completely different style of gameplay, where your priority focus is going to be grabbing cover and moving while engaged in intense firefights, and reinforcements are dropped in all around you, fueling your nightmares for years to come.
I do suicide mission on the bots though.
Yeah, you'll have a rough
like
time.
Vietnam? No, bro. It's not like Vietnam. Vietnam's a cakewalk compared to what the fuck that is.
Come. And the first things you'll notice is that these planets that you're fighting to liberate, they're absolutely beautiful, with each feeling unique, sticking with you, making you feel like it's a living, breathing place. And each planet's environment has its own concerns to be on the lookout for. Frozen planets have random blizzards impairing your vision and movement speed. Deserts have sandstorms you can see blowing in like a giant wall in the distance. One of the planets I spent a lot of time on, they aptly named Hellmire, has these flaming tornadoes that'll come in and fuck you and the bugs up if you don't watch where you're going. And possibly my favorite planet detail is when you're on the bridge of your ship in orbit, you can see all your fellow Helldiver ships in orbit with you. And you can see them shooting down hellpods and orbital cannons to the various battlefields. Looking really closely, you can see stratagem beacons popping up on the surface of the planets. And this all goes in making you feel like you're a part of a larger force, not just a one-man army. I don't know, it's such a small detail that to me goes so far in enhancing the feeling and the theme of the game. Now that we've talked about planets in the Galactic War, let's talk about the operations you'll be dropping into. Each operation is made up of 3 missions, which completing all 3 gives out massive rewards plus a bonus for the difficulty you choose, going all the way to double in Helldive difficulty. And in this, Helldivers 2 might have almost perfected difficulty. Now in a lot of games, if you choose a higher difficulty, the game just artificially jacks up a slider and makes the enemies tanks that one-tap you. If the gamers desire difficulty, by God, we'll give them difficulty. But not Helldivers 2. Instead of making the enemies you are already facing overpowered, the game just ups the threat you're facing, adding more enemies, more frequent reinforcements, and a stronger types of enemies. Hell, they even go so far as to have a hidden game master behind the scenes, being inspired by tabletop games like Warhammer. And the game master will tweak the game a bit to throw more challenges at you at higher difficulties, and make the missions feel more unique. Hell, I played an Eradicate mission where we had 3 Bile Titans at the spawn. 3! From the beginning. Without any time to drop our support weapons, it forced us to work as a team and coordinate a game plan on the fly. It's these types of encounters that make me feel that Helldivers 2's difficulty is almost perfect. And then there's the maps. Now would you believe me if I told you that the maps are procedurally generated?
No.
The fuck you mean, nah?
That's right. That's how you properly generate planets, Todd. Take note.
All of this just works. I'm not kidding.
But seriously, the reason this is incredible is each map feels handcrafted. They feel polished. In fact, in my 50 hours, I only ran into 1 bug that wasn't intended to be in the game.
I believe I can fly. I believe I can touch the sky.
In each mission, even after 50 hours, I never felt like I was constantly doing the same thing, because of just how expansive the mission variety is. You can go from raising flags, to destroying bug holes, to launching fucking nukes. There's enough mission type and map variety to where it just doesn't get boring. And then there's all the side objectives you can do on the map. You can load up artillery and get an extra stratagem for use of that game. Sometimes there's unique enemies that spawn in the game, but you can stop them from spawning by taking out their hives. There's just so much cool shit. Perhaps Arrowhead has found the fountain of youth and discovered the power of infinite replayability, but only time will tell for that. Now when it comes to weapons, Helldivers 2 does something a little different than most other games. While most games are getting faster and faster, Helldivers 2 decided to slow it down and preferred realism over speed. And in my opinion, this enhances the gameplay tremendously, making you line up your shots and control your recoil, make the decision on the fly of when to run and gun and when to slow down and crouch to improve accuracy. It adds a bit more to the gunplay, a little bit more tactical decisions instead of just point and fire. And now we get to the point where I'm going to say something controversial, maybe even cancelable. There is an ethical way to do a battle pass.
Liar!
Wait. Hey, shut up. Now hear me out. So progressing in Helldivers, every match you'll get 3 types of currency, we can call them, in the form of rec slips, medals, and samples. Now medals are what you use to unlock new weapons and gear. And while I'm not a big fan of the battle pass system, I have to say this is probably the most ethical way of doing it. You can't pay your way to progress through the battle pass. You can't pay money and jump 4 tiers up. You actually have to play the game to progress through. And possibly taking a note from Halo Infinite, if you buy a pass, it never expires. It's there for you to progress through at your own pace. And best of all, you don't have to buy any of the extra passes with real money. Not if you don't want to. You can actually get enough super credits through the first pass that come with the game and by exploring the map to buy all the subsequent ones. The option to buy them is just there as a way to support the studio. Which, like I said, I'm not much of a fan of battle passes, but there's no denying that this is the ethical way to do it. Now rec slips you can use to buy new stratagems that you can call in on the map, like airstrikes and support weapons. Even a giant exosuit later on.
Oh, no.
With all of them being viable and not really any being too much bullshit. Even the way you call them in is unique. Instead of just hitting a button like a kill streak, you have to type in a code each time you call in a stratagem, which is easier said than done in a stressful situation.
Why are you running?
So memorizing these codes can speed up your effectiveness on the battlefield. And the way that calling in a giant bomb or a flamethrower is balanced is friendly fire is always on. So careful planning with your team is important.
Nick! What?
It's Will keeps knocking me down.
How? I'm just shooting my sniper, bro.
And the last I wanted to go over is the samples. So you find samples by exploring the map, usually around areas of interest on the map, with the hardest of those to find being those sweet super rares. And you can use these to permanently upgrade your ship. But here's the catch. If you die, you drop all those samples. So you have to go back and pick them up. And you'll have to successfully extract to obtain them, adding so much more tension and excitement to every match. That feeling of surviving an impossible extract with all 5 super samples? Yeah, I'll take that over a woman's touch any day. Not that I need that or anything. The last thing I want to talk about is just how much I love the community to this game. I haven't been pulled this much into a community since the old Halo Reach days. With so much love, all the fan art, all the propaganda posters, the Helldivers news network, hell, there's even a heavy metal song about Helldivers. How fucking cool is that? But all this is the final nail in the coffin for why this game is so amazing. So if you have the strength and the courage to be free, join my Discord, where I started a new section for Helldivers where we can plan and strategize the best way to liberate the galaxy. So if you think you have what it takes and you want to join me, I'll link that in the description below for you to check out. And the coolest part about the community is you can enjoy this game just playing with randoms, and better yet, it's more fun when you have a group of friends, because no one fucks you harder than your friends.
27% accuracy is crazy.
27%.
I'm not using a sniper again. I can tell you that.
Yeah, that's
Jesus
1%
Christ.
accuracy. I can see why.
Fucking Lyndon B. Johnson would have never seen Office if you were shooting at it.
No, I was really shooting you the whole time.
It turns out that all the hype was true. Helldivers 2 is the best game I've played in a long time. And if it doesn't win Game of the Year, we'll know that our democracy is under attack. With some of the greatest gunplay in gaming, an awesome community, satisfying progression, and an ongoing war in real time. It's no wonder so many people find Helldivers 2 so amazing. Now I want to hear what you guys think about Helldivers 2. Was there anything I missed in the video? What were your experiences with the game? Let me know them down below. And while you're down there, if you have the courage, consider joining my Discord to join me in the fight for freedom. But that's all I have for today. And remember, guys, until next time, I'm the Virtual Viking, and I am out.